The constant hum of computers filled the cramped monitoring room at Deep Space Station Beta, humanity's furthest outpost beyond Neptune's orbit. Tom Reed stared at his screen, his tired eyes scanning the endless streams of data that flowed from the station's powerful sensors. After 12 hours on shift, everything started to look the same, until it didn't. "Hey Mark, come look at this," Tom called to his supervisor, pointing at an unusual pattern on his screen. "I've never seen readings like these before." Mark Anderson, a veteran space monitor with 20 years of experience, leaned over Tom's shoulder. His eyes widened as he studied the data. "Run it through the filters again," he ordered, suddenly alert. The pattern persisted. It wasn't random space noise or the usual signals from known spacecraft. This was something entirely different, structured, repeating, and definitely artificial. "Get Commander Miller down here now," Mark said, reaching for the internal comm system. Within minutes, Commander James Miller arrived at the monitoring station. Despite being woken from his sleep cycle, his mind was sharp and focused. He had spent his entire career preparing for this possibility. Humanity's first contact with alien life. "Show me everything," he commanded, pulling up a chair between Tom and Mark. The three men spent the next hour analyzing the signal. It was coming from just beyond Pluto's orbit. And it wasn't just one signal. It was hundreds of them, all clustered together. "It's a distress call," Commander Miller finally announced, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "The pattern matches universal distress frequencies. Someone out there needs help." The station's powerful telescopes were immediately redirected to the source of the signals. The images they captured left the entire crew speechless. A vast fleet of ships, unlike anything humans had ever built, floated motionless in the dark void. Their sleek designs and enormous size made Earth's best spacecraft look like children's toys. "Count them," Miller ordered. 312 distinct vessels, sir," Tom reported after running the analysis. "They're just sitting there." As they watched, more data poured in. The alien ships were massive, most of them larger than Earth's biggest cities. Their hulls seemed to shimmer with an otherworldly metal that defied normal light reflection. But despite their advanced appearance, they were completely stationary. Commander Miller knew this discovery would change everything. He opened a secure channel to Earth's Space Command and took a deep breath. "This is Deep Space Station Beta. We have a code first contact situation. I repeat, code first contact. We have detected a fleet of non-human vessels beyond Pluto's orbit. They are broadcasting distress signals. Request immediate instructions." The response from Earth was faster than anyone expected. Within hours, every major government and space agency was on high alert. The news spread quickly through secure channels. Humanity wasn't alone, and our first alien contact was with a civilization that needed our help. More data kept coming in as the station's crew worked around the clock. The alien distress signals became clearer as the computer systems learned to decode them. The message was simple but urgent. Their advanced drive systems had suffered a catastrophic failure. The entire fleet was stranded, unable to move or generate enough power to make repairs. "They're stuck," Tom said, shaking his head in disbelief. "All that amazing technology, and they're just stuck." Commander Miller nodded, a slight smile forming on his face. "And they're asking for help from the nearest civilization. Us." The irony wasn't lost on anyone at the station. These incredible ships, built by a civilization clearly far more advanced than humanity, were now depending on their primitive neighbors for assistance. As the first day of contact drew to a close, Commander Miller gathered his crew for a brief meeting. "People, what we do next will define humanity's place in the galaxy. These beings chose to ask for help rather than hide their presence. They're trusting us. Now we need to prove they made the right choice." The crew nodded in agreement, their faces showing a mixture of excitement and determination. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, imagining countless scenarios. But no one had expected it would begin with advanced aliens needing help from the new kids in the galaxy. As Commander Miller looked at his crew, he knew that humanity's greatest adventure was about to begin. And it would start not with war or fear, but with a simple act of helping those in need. The United Nations emergency session moved faster than any meeting in history. For once, every nation agreed on something. Humanity needed to help the stranded alien fleet. Within 48 hours, the best engineers, mechanics, and problem solvers from around the world were gathered at the Global Space Center in Houston. Captain Robert Wilson stood before the assembled team, his weathered face serious as he studied the group. They were an unusual mix: veteran spacecraft engineers, mechanical experts, and even some old-school mechanics who could fix anything with basic tools. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, "we're about to attempt the biggest repair job in human history. 300 alien ships are counting on us. They might have technology we can't even understand, but right now, they need our help." The briefing room screens showed the latest images from Deep Space Station Beta. The alien fleet glittered against the black of space, their massive shapes dwarfing anything humans had built. "We're launching in 6 hours," Wilson continued. "Our fleet isn't pretty, but it's the best we've got." The screens changed to show Earth's rescue fleet, 15 rugged space repair vessels, modified mining ships, and cargo haulers. Lisa Brown, the lead engineer, raised her hand. "What about communication? How do we talk to them?" "The aliens have already provided translation protocols," Wilson answered. "Their language computers are still working. At least we've got that going for us." The room buzzed with activity as the team prepared. They loaded their ships with every tool they could think of, from high-tech repair equipment to basic wrenches and hammers. No one knew what they might need out there. "Remember," Wilson told them during their final briefing, "these beings might be advanced, but right now they're stranded motorists on a galactic highway. We're the rescue service. Let's show them what humans can do." The launch was watched by billions around the world. 15 human ships, looking small and primitive compared to the alien fleet they were going to help, lifted off from various spaceports around Earth. They carried the hopes of humanity with them. During the journey to the stranded fleet, the rescue team studied the alien transmissions. The beings called themselves the Galactic Council's Diplomatic Corps, and their embarrassment at needing help from an undeveloped species was clear in every message. "They think we're cavemen with spaceships," Jack Turner, one of the mechanics, said with a laugh as he read the translations. "Wait until they see how cavemen solve problems." After 3 weeks of travel, the human fleet finally reached the stranded aliens. The size difference was even more striking up close. Each alien ship was like a floating city, their hulls gleaming with strange metals that seemed to shift colors in the dim sunlight. The first transmission from the alien flagship was formal, but carried a note of desperation. "Greetings, Earth vessels. We appreciate your response to our distress call. Though your technology appears basic, we welcome any assistance you can provide." Captain Wilson smiled as he sent his reply. "Galactic Council Fleet, we're here to help. Sometimes basic is exactly what you need." The aliens directed the human ships to dock with their main engineering vessel. The human team suited up, carrying their tools and equipment. As the airlock cycled, Wilson looked at his team. "Remember," he said, checking his toolkit one last time, "we're not here to show off. We're here to fix their ships. Do what you do best." The airlock opened to reveal a group of waiting aliens. They were tall, elegant beings with silvery skin that seemed to glow from within. Their expressions were unreadable, but their body language showed clear skepticism as they looked at the human team in their bulky spacesuits, carrying what must have seemed like primitive tools. The alien chief engineer stepped forward, its translator converting its musical language to English. "Welcome aboard. Though we doubt your species' ability to comprehend our advanced systems, we are grateful for your willingness to try." Captain Wilson stepped forward and held out his hand, a gesture the aliens had been briefed about. Sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. Why don't you show us what's wrong, and let us show you what humans can do? The rescue mission was about to begin, and humanity was ready to prove that sometimes being less advanced didn't mean being less capable. The alien engineering bay was a marvel of technology. Holographic displays floated in the air, showing complex systems that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The human team tried to hide their amazement as they followed the alien chief engineer through the massive space. Ambassador Blue Light, the fleet's diplomatic leader, glided into the engineering bay. Its form shifted between various shades of blue, a sign of emotional expression among its species. The human team noticed a distinct darkening of its color. What they would later learn was the equivalent of embarrassment. I must admit, Blue Light spoke through the translator. We never expected to need assistance from, well, the ambassador struggled to find diplomatic words. From a bunch of primitives. Captain Wilson finished the thought with a smile. Don't worry about offending us, Ambassador. We're here to help, not to compete in a technology contest. The alien engineers had already begun displaying their drive system schematics. The humans stared at the incredibly complex designs, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. The alien technology used principles that seemed to ignore basic physics, until Lisa Brown noticed something familiar. Captain, she called out, pointing to a particular section of the hologram. Look at this. Under all that complexity, these are still engines. They still need to push something to move something else. Jack Turner moved closer to the display, his experienced mechanic's eyes narrowing. She's right. Strip away all the fancy stuff. And there's still basic mechanical principles at work here. They've just made it way more complicated than it needs to be. The aliens watched this exchange with a mixture of confusion and curiosity. Their chief engineer, who had introduced himself as First Builder, spoke up. Our systems are the result of 10,000 years of advancement. How could you possibly understand them? Captain Wilson stepped forward. First Builder, may I ask you something? In all that advancement, did your people ever keep any of the older, simpler systems as backups? The alien's color shifted to a deeper shade, answering the question before the translator could convert its response. We found no need. Each new advancement made the previous systems obsolete. That's your problem right there, Jack said, forgetting diplomatic protocol in his excitement. You've got no redundancy, no backup systems. Everything's so advanced that when one part fails, the whole thing goes down. Lisa had been studying the schematics more closely. Look here, she pointed. Their main drive system is beautiful. It basically folds space using quantum principles. But the power distribution is so complex that when the main converter failed, there was no simple way to reroute the energy. The aliens gathered around, watching as the humans began breaking down their complex systems into simpler components. For the first time, they seemed to realize that these primitives might actually understand something they had forgotten. Ambassador Blue Light's color shifted to a brighter shade. You mean to tell us that your less advanced technology might actually help? Ambassador, Captain Wilson said carefully, sometimes the best solution isn't the most advanced one. We humans learned that lesson the hard way. We still keep simple backup systems in all our ships because simple things are easier to fix when they break. First Builder moved closer to the holographic display, watching as Lisa and Jack traced the power flows through the system. This is fascinating. You see our technology in a way we never considered. Perhaps we have something to learn from you after all. The human team spent the next several hours explaining basic mechanical principles to the aliens. They showed how simple systems could work alongside the advanced ones, providing crucial backup when needed. To their surprise, the aliens proved to be eager students. Your species is unique, Blue Light observed as the day drew to a close. You understand both the simple and the complex. The Galactic Council always assumed that advancing meant leaving the simple behind, but you've shown us there might be another way. Captain Wilson looked at his team with pride. In less than a day, They had gone from being seen as primitive helpers to respected teachers. "Ambassador," he said, "this is just the beginning. Wait until you see what else we can do." As the first day of work ended, both species had learned important lessons. The aliens learned that advancement didn't always mean improvement, and the humans learned that sometimes being less advanced could be an advantage. It was the beginning of a partnership that would change both civilizations forever. Jack Turner stood in front of the alien engine core, holding nothing but a wrench and a puzzled expression. The advanced machinery hummed with energy, its crystalline components pulsing with strange lights. But to Jack's experienced eyes, it was still just an engine, albeit the most complicated one he had ever seen. "You're saying this whole system failed because of that?" he asked, pointing to what looked like a simple power coupling. First Builder's translator crackled. "Yes. The quantum phase redistributor lost alignment by 0.1 degrees, causing a cascade failure through the entire fleet's drive network." Jack scratched his head. "And you can't just realign it. The alignment requires precision only possible with equipment we no longer have power to operate," First Builder explained, its tone carrying a hint of frustration. "Hand me that toolkit," Jack called to Lisa. She floated the magnetic box over in the zero gravity. Jack pulled out what looked like an ordinary level, modified with some electronic components. "What is that primitive device?" First Builder asked, moving closer to inspect it. "This. Just a digital level with some modifications. We use it to align satellite dishes back home." Jack carefully placed it against the coupling. Sometimes the old ways work best. The aliens watched in amazement as Jack, using nothing but basic tools and his own skills, began to adjust the supposedly unmaintainable quantum device. His movements were slow and deliberate, guided by both the digital readout and his own mechanical instincts. "There," he said after several minutes. "Try it now." First Builder ran a diagnostic. Its color shifted rapidly, the alien equivalent of astonishment. "The alignment is perfect. How did you achieve this with such basic tools?" "Simple physics still works, even on advanced technology," Lisa explained, floating over to examine the readings. "Your systems are incredible, but they're built on the same fundamental principles we use." Captain Wilson had been watching from nearby. "This is what we do best. We find ways to make things work with what we have." The success with the power coupling was just the beginning. Over the next few days, the human team introduced one simple solution after another. They showed the aliens how to create mechanical bypasses for failed electronic systems, how to use basic backup power units to support the more advanced ones, and how to repair complex components using fundamental engineering principles. "Look here," Lisa explained to a group of alien engineers, pointing to a holographic display. "Your power distribution system is amazing, but it's vulnerable. We can add these simple mechanical switches as emergency backups. They're not elegant, but they'll keep you moving if the main system fails again." The aliens, who had initially been skeptical of these primitive solutions, began to show genuine interest. They watched in fascination as the humans combined their advanced technology with basic mechanical systems, creating something entirely new. "It's like building a safety net," Captain Wilson explained to Ambassador Blue Light. "Your technology is far superior to ours, but by adding our simple backup systems, we make it more reliable." The first real test came 3 days later. The human team had finished modifying one of the smaller ships in the fleet. Everyone gathered in the control room as they prepared to activate the hybrid dry system. "Power flow stable," First Builder announced, monitoring the displays. "Quantum core is responding. Emergency backups, standing by." Captain Wilson nodded to Jack. "Do it." Jack threw the switch, a literal physical switch they had installed. The ship's engines hummed to life, the sound different than before, but steady and strong. The test vehicle moved smoothly forward, its movement precise and controlled. The alien crew erupted in their version of cheers, a harmonious vibration that made the hull ring. Even first builders, usually composed demeanor, showed excitement. "It works," the alien engineer declared. "The combination of our advanced systems and your basic additions has created something unprecedented." Ambassador Blue Light turned to Captain Wilson. "Your species has shown us something remarkable. We thought we had moved beyond the need for simple solutions, but you've proven that true advancement means understanding both the complex and the basic." Wilson smiled. "Sometimes the best technology isn't the most advanced. It's the most reliable." As news of the successful test spread through the fleet, the mood changed from despair to hope. The human team had proven that sometimes the simplest solutions were the best ones, even in the most advanced situations. The main lecture hall of the alien flagship had been converted into what looked like a basic engineering classroom. Lisa Brown stood before a group of alien engineers, using holographic displays to demonstrate fundamental mechanical principles. What made the scene unusual was that these students were from one of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy. "So you see," Lisa explained, drawing a simple diagram in the air, "even your quantum drives follow these basic laws of thermodynamics. Understanding these principles helps you fix problems even when your diagnostic computers fail." The alien engineers, their bodies glowing with various colors of interest and excitement, watched as she demonstrated using a simple steam engine model. First builder, now her most enthusiastic student, raised an appendage. "You mean to tell us that this primitive steam mechanism operates on the same basic principles as our quantum-fold drives?" "Exactly," Lisa smiled. "Energy is energy, whether you're pushing steam through a turbine or folding spacetime. The laws don't change, just the application." In another section of the ship, Jack Turner was teaching a different group about mechanical redundancy. He had set up a display showing both an alien power core and a simple backup generator. "Think of it like having two paths to the same destination," he explained, drawing lines between the systems. "If your main road is blocked, you need a backup route. It might not be as fast or elegant, but it'll get you there." The aliens were quick learners, their advanced minds grasping these forgotten basics with remarkable speed. What surprised everyone was how eagerly they embraced these simpler solutions. "We became so focused on advancing forward," one alien engineer admitted during a break, "that we forgot to look back at what we were leaving behind. There is wisdom in your primitive, your fundamental technologies." Captain Wilson watched these teaching sessions with pride. What had started as an emergency repair mission had evolved into something much more significant. The aliens weren't just learning how to fix their ships, they were rediscovering the value of basic engineering principles. Ambassador Blue Light floated into one of the classes, its color showing deep interest. "Our council will need to reconsider many things," it said to Wilson. "We thought advancement meant replacing the old with the new. Your people have shown us that true progress means building upon foundations, not abandoning them." The cultural exchange wasn't one-sided. As the aliens learned about basic mechanics, they shared their own knowledge with the human team. Lisa and Jack found themselves learning about technologies they had never imagined, but now they could understand them through the lens of fundamental principles. "It's amazing," Lisa told Wilson during their daily briefing. "Once you understand the basics, even their most advanced systems make sense. They're just incredibly complex applications of simple physics." The teaching sessions soon expanded beyond just engineering. The aliens were fascinated by humanity's approach to problem solving, our ability to improvise, and our habit of keeping backup systems. They studied our history of technological development, particularly interested in how we maintained older systems alongside newer ones. "Your species' path is unique," First Builder told Wilson one day. "Most races discard their earlier technologies as they advance. You humans seem to keep everything that works, regardless of its age or complexity." The learning atmosphere had completely transformed the relationship between the two species. What had started as a rescue mission by primitives had become a valuable exchange of knowledge and ideas. During one session, an alien student demonstrated how they had modified their own advanced system using human principles. They had created a hybrid power distribution network that could switch between quantum and conventional power seamlessly. "We never considered such adaptability," the alien admitted. "We always sought perfection in advancement, not realizing that true perfection includes reliability." As the lessons continued, more ships from the Galactic Council arrived to observe this unprecedented cooperation. The sight of advanced aliens learning basic mechanics from humans became a symbol of a new kind of progress. "We're not just fixing ships anymore," Wilson remarked to his team during a quiet moment. "We're building bridges between two ways of thinking." Sometimes the best teachers are those who remember the basics. The aliens had started their journey as reluctant students of primitive humans. Now they were eager learners, discovering that sometimes the simplest solutions were the most elegant after all. The massive repair operation began at dawn, measured by Earth time since it felt familiar to the human crew. 300 alien ships stretched out into space, each waiting for their turn to be upgraded with the new hybrid systems that combined their advanced technology with human reliability. Captain Wilson stood in the command center, looking at the holographic display showing all the ships arranged in neat columns. "It's the biggest repair job in human history," he said to no one in particular. "And we're going to get it done." The repair crews were mixed now, humans and aliens working side by side. What had started as humans teaching aliens had evolved into true collaboration. Each team had 2 alien engineers and 2 human mechanics, combining both species' strengths. "Power coupling stable on Ship 17. Jack's voice came through the comm. "Moving to the next one. These aliens are getting pretty good with a wrench, Captain." Lisa coordinated the operation from the main engineering bay, her holographic displays showing the progress on each vessel. "We're working faster than expected," she reported. "The aliens have really taken to our methods. They're even suggesting improvements to our basic designs." The news of this unprecedented cooperation had spread across the galaxy. Ships from other alien civilizations arrived to observe the great repair operation. They watched in amazement as the supposedly primitive humans worked alongside the Galactic Council's finest engineers. "Look at that," First Builder said proudly, pointing to a newly modified ship powering up its engines. "The combination of quantum drives and mechanical backups. It's more efficient than our original design." The repair teams had developed a rhythm. While the advanced systems were being realigned, human mechanics installed their backup solutions. Each ship received a complete hybrid upgrade, making them more reliable than they had ever been. "Ship 28 is ready for testing," called out one of the mixed teams. The vessel's engines glowed with a new kind of light, the blue shimmer of quantum drives mixed with the steady red of conventional thrusters. Ambassador Blue Light moved between the teams, its color showing pride and excitement. "The Council has sent word," it announced to Wilson. "They want these modifications standardized across all Council ships. Your primitive solutions are becoming the new standard." The work continued day and night. Human ingenuity combined with alien technology in ways nobody had expected. The aliens learned to trust simpler solutions, while the humans found ways to integrate advanced systems with basic mechanics. "Check this out," Jack called from one of the engine rooms. He had helped an alien engineer design a manual override that could control quantum systems without computer assistance. Even if every advanced system fails, they can still steer and power the ship with these backups. More alien ships arrived daily to witness the repairs. Some came from civilizations even more advanced than the Council, yet they all showed the same fascination with humanity's approach to technology. "Your species thinks differently," one alien observer told Wilson. "You don't see technology as a ladder to climb, but as a toolbox to fill. Each tool, whether simple or advanced, has its place." By the 3rd week, half the fleet had been modified. Each repaired ship could now operate on multiple levels of technology, from the most advanced quantum systems to basic mechanical backups. It was a revolution in spacecraft design. "Ship 59. Power test successful," Lisa's voice announced. "That's another one ready to fly." The repair teams celebrated each success, human and alien together. What had seemed impossible weeks ago was now becoming routine. The once stranded fleet was coming back to life, better than before. We're not just fixing ships, Wilson realized as he watched another vessel power up its new hybrid systems. We're changing how the galaxy thinks about technology. First Builder, working alongside Jack on one of the larger ships, paused to observe their progress. In all our advancement, we forgot something vital, the alien admitted. The value of reliability over complexity. You humans reminded us of this. As the Great Repair continued, the partnership between humans and aliens grew stronger. Each species brought their own strengths to the task. Alien precision and advanced knowledge combining with human ingenuity and practical experience. The once silent fleet was coming alive again, ship by ship, each one better than it had been before. It was more than a repair job now. It was proof that progress didn't always mean abandoning the past. The final ship's engines hummed to life, its hybrid systems pulsing with both quantum energy and conventional power. After 6 weeks of non-stop work, the entire alien fleet was repaired, upgraded, and ready to resume its journey. But everyone knew that something far more important had been accomplished. Captain Wilson stood with Ambassador Blue Light on the flagship's observation deck, watching as the restored vessels performed their final test maneuvers. Each ship moved with perfect precision, their new systems working in harmony. "Your people have changed everything," Blue Light said, its color shifting through shades of deep appreciation. "The Council has called an emergency session. They want Earth to join as a full member." Wilson watched as one of the ships demonstrated its new backup systems, smoothly switching from quantum drive to conventional power and back again. "We just did what we do best, solve problems with whatever tools we have." The observation deck filled with both human and alien crew members as they gathered for the farewell ceremony. First Builder stood next to Jack and Lisa, all three of them watching their shared achievement with pride. "The Council ships arriving next week will be requesting the same modifications," First Builder announced. "Every major civilization wants these hybrid systems now. They're calling it the human approach to technology." Lisa smiled. "Funny how our primitive solutions are now becoming standard across the galaxy." The ceremony began with Ambassador Blue Light addressing the gathered crews. "When we first sent our distress call, we feared showing weakness to a lesser species. Now we understand there are no lesser species, only different approaches to the same challenges." Representatives from a dozen alien civilizations had arrived to witness the fleet's departure. Each one had already submitted formal requests for human engineering teams to visit their worlds. "Earth's government is setting up a new division," Wilson told his team. "The Galactic Engineering Corps. They want all of you to help lead it." Jack laughed, holding up his old wrench. Not bad for a bunch of primitive mechanics with basic tools. The alien fleet prepared for departure, but this wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. The Council had already approved plans for a permanent engineering academy on Earth, where species from across the galaxy would learn to combine advanced technology with reliable basics. "We've received calls for help from 30 different civilizations," Lisa reported, checking her tablet. "They all have problems they think human engineers can solve. Apparently, we're becoming known as the galaxy's fixers." Ambassador Blue Light approached Wilson with a formal document, Earth's invitation to join the Galactic Council. "Your seat will be in the engineering division," the ambassador explained. "The Council believes humanity's unique perspective on technology is exactly what the galaxy needs." The first ships began to move out, their new hybrid drives glowing with combined energies never seen before. Each vessel now carried a piece of human ingenuity merged with alien advancement. "It's strange," First Builder mused, standing with the human team. "We came into this thinking we needed to help primitive beings advance. Instead, you showed us that true advancement means remembering where you came from." As the fleet prepared for quantum jump, messages poured in from across the galaxy. Problems that advanced civilizations couldn't solve, mechanical issues that baffled their greatest minds. All of them now looked to Earth for solutions. You know what this means? Wilson asked his team. Every impossible problem in the galaxy is about to become our problem. Jack grinned, tightening his tool belt. Good thing we humans like impossible problems. The flagship's quantum drive engaged, its new mechanical backups humming steadily. Ambassador Blue Light turned to the human team one last time. We came to your solar system as stranded travelers. We leave as students and allies. The galaxy will never be the same. As the fleet disappeared into quantum space, the human team began preparing for their next mission. Somewhere out there, another advanced civilization needed help from the galaxy's newest problem solvers. Ready for more impossible fixes? Wilson asked his team. Lisa looked at the list of waiting assignments. The galaxy's calling, Captain. Time to show them what humans can do. And so began humanity's new role in the galaxy, not as the most advanced species, but as the ones who remembered that sometimes the simplest solutions were the best ones. The age of human engineering had begun, and the universe would never be quite the same again.